Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am here to show my finished pieces with the Soft Flex Summer Rain kit. This was their kit that became available at the very end of June. And so, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, they just released it, so that the Soft Flex just did the reveal the end of July, but I've had it since the last reveal of the kit from June. So, okay, yes, I've had this for about a month. But I almost did not purchase this kit because they don't show, like on the website, what the kit looks like for their new kit, but they do show the coordinating bead strand. There's always a coordinated bead strand from Jesse James. Well, I won't say always, but for the most part, what I've seen, they always come, like you can purchase this separately. This kit was called Summer Rain, and I almost did not get it because, as you can see from this bead strand, it's a lot of blues. But I ended up going ahead and purchasing it, and I'm glad that I did because it had a really, like a lot of more turquoise and just really pretty shades of blue. So I actually kind of enjoyed working with this kit. I still, of course, have this to do something with. I did not get around to using the bead strand, but I pretty much used up the kit. Let me show what I have left. I have some of this blue beading wire that came in the kit, and this is called Blue, if I can read it on here, Blue Topaz. It's a really pretty color. And I have a couple strands here where I kept messing up on cutting it. So I actually have a few extra short strands of the wire. So I've got that to use sometime. Out of the actual little, because they also always include a design elements, a little package of findings and beads that Jesse James also puts together. I used everything out of that little kit except for I have 4 bead caps and one teeny tiny little bead, if you can see it in there, and I only have that bead left over because I found it on the floor when I was down there on my carpet looking for something else, and I happened to find this that I didn't know I dropped. So I actually have just that one little bead left over. Off of the bead strands, they usually send like 3 or 4 coordinating bead strands to go with the kit. This was a whole bead strand. I have not used any of this yet. I think it's got a really cool shape to it, so I'm sure I'll find something to do with that. I have just a few of these darker blue little faceted beads. Let me see if it says what these are. These are the 6mm blue fire polish faceted rounds. They're check glass. And these right here are these are 8 by 10mm blue and white twists. And those are also check glass. And then I have some of these remaining. These are little gray daggers, and they are check glass. And there were some smoky quartz faceted rondelles. I used all of those because I do not see any more of those. So that's what I have left. So not a whole lot of stuff, but still enough to do something with. And then I have a few of the little crimp tubes that they include. So let me just start out by pulling out some of the pieces. Now I was able to make 1, 2, 3, if I can get the earring apart, 4 necklaces, and I made a bracelet and 4 pairs of earrings. So I'll just go ahead and show the earrings real fast. These were created out of findings from the little bead mix, as well as I used up the 1 pair of ear wires that they included. So here's just a fun little pair of earrings with that, see, that light is a little bit bright here. Never can tell how this is looking. Okay, so They came, the little, inside the kit, they had 2 flower charms. And then these bead caps were in the little bead mix. And then I used some of my own daisy spacers and little silver ball spacers. And I did pull in a few things from the July bargain bead box that I had here by my desk. I used some of their spacers and jump rings. And I believe I used the little connectors that I had left over from that kit. And I'll show those when I get to them. But that's just this cute little pair of earrings with the flower dangles. And then those were the ear wires that they included. They always include a nice pair with like a little ball tip on the end. And then I used the rest of the earrings that I made, just used my own ear findings. And I can get this to hang right. Dropping things in the floor. Okay. So see, these had the really gorgeous turquoise in the kit. I love these beads. There were several, there's another pair of these little like teardrop shaped beads that were in the bead mix. And these were the 2, there were 4 of these larger size. They look like maybe 8mm, maybe 10 of these little faceted round beads. And I just did a little simple, like a wrap on the top of the drop bead. Used some of the bead caps from the little kit. And that is these really pretty drop earrings. So there's the 2 that I made with those gorgeous turquoise beads. And then there were some of these, I think these came in the kit. Okay, probably not. I'm trying to remember if these were in the kit or not. These little purple beads might have been left over from something else, because I was kind of pulling some things from my table that kind of I thought went well with what I was working with. Here are some of those little connectors that were in the bargain bead box. I thought those were really, really cute. And here I was tempted to just hang these little little bead pieces. I just put them all, just layered a whole bunch of like spacers and these little tiny, almost grayish colored little beads. I was tempted to hang these from like some chain to give them a little bit more movement, but I kind of like the way they're shaped there, so I just kept them that way. I thought those turned out really, really adorable. So there's that pair of earrings. Let me see if I can get this a little bit closer. Okay, so there's that fun little pretty pair of earrings. I love those connectors that were in the bargain bead box, so I thought those worked perfect with those earrings. And then also in the little design elements pack, they had these beautiful giant silver like little beads here. Absolutely amazing. And I pulled some of these large daisy spacers out of my stash because I thought they worked perfectly on the top and bottom. I used some of those little clear, almost, I think they're like seed beads. And then they had these little globes in the kit as well. And I used the little 2 more of those connectors at the top. And I love how these earrings turned out. They're so sparkly and so gorgeous. I just love these beads. Just probably my favorite piece out of the whole entire kit are these giant beads here. Love how these turned out. I think they're absolutely amazing. Now they have a little bit of weight to them, but they're not like super heavy. But I just love how they feel. I love holding those and playing with them. And so I should go ahead and show the little bracelet that I made. I used a magnetic clasp on here. In the kit, they had these little cage beads. So I just put these 3, you can sort of see through them a little bit. They're very kind of translucent a little bit. And then these little lava beads were in the kit. There was 4 of those. So I used all 4 of those. And then there were 3 of these cage beads. And they worked out perfectly to go right between those lava beads. And then I used the other one. I had one of these remaining, so I used that as a little dangle. And I had more of these beads. That's just what I had left by the time I had already made the necklace. And so I just did on my just regular beading wire, made this little section here, and then just crimped it to the chain. And I just added my own little spacer ball on the end there. And these little bead caps, I believe, were in the kit. I think there were 8 of those, and they worked perfectly with those 4 lava beads. And this bracelet here measures about 7 1/4. It's just a hair loose on me, but it still fits me nicely. It's not like so loose that it like falls off my wrist. It still stays on nice and secure. And I thought about removing 1 or 2 of the links to make it fit me, because I like a more snug bracelet. But then I thought, if I try to get into any kind of craft shows this year and I try to sell this, it needs to be like at least big enough to fit most people, because I prefer my bracelets to be tight. I don't like a lot of movement on my wrist, so I tend to make my bracelets for myself to be very snug. So I thought, well, it needs to be a little bit more loose if I'm going to try and sell it. And then in the kit, the little design elements pack, there were these fun little tiny tassels, and there were these like gray rectangle like glass beads. And so I just made this fun little design here, and just made this little section with these really cool little silver spacers that are very just very unevenly shaped, and I just think they're really cool the way they're shaped. And so I just did this little piece right here on some bead wire and wrapped it, or just crimped it to the chain. I used a little bit finer chain on this necklace. And these little beads here, I just took these 2 silver like teardrop shaped beads, added the little tassels to the bottom, and put them between the rectangle beads. Thought that turned out to be a really cute little necklace. And I love the length of this. I made it to where it hits kind of high on me. And it's just about 13 inches long. Well, at least I never can tell exactly. I'm terrible at measuring these things. I just have like a piece of washi tape on my table that's like a ruler. It's a ruler piece of washi tape. And I just usually will measure by putting it on myself to see how long I want the necklace to be. And I just go from there. And then here, I used up a lot of these purple diamond-shaped beads that I had laying here. And I cannot remember if these were in the kit. I never do an unboxing because I'm just always so in a hurry to get started working on these. Once they do the reveal, then we're allowed to show like our pieces that we've made. And so I actually started working on this kit I think the day before they did the reveal video, which they always reveal their new kits the last Wednesday of each month. And so probably that Tuesday, the last Tuesday, I actually started playing with this kit. And over 2 days, I had the kit used up pretty much from what I'm going to do with it right now. And so there's the last of the rectangle beads, and then 2 more of those little teardrop shaped beads. So I just made this little section here, kind of little design here where the teardrops kind of go out, and put these little spacers in the middle there. And I think this one absolutely is gorgeous. And these are sort of a grayish purple, these little beads here, so they go well with those triangle beads. And I just used up the last of all of these little ones, except for, of course, the one that I found on the floor. And I just put it on a piece of my chain from my stash. And now the kit did come with a lobster clasp. I don't remember which one of these necklaces has the one from the kit, because I did pull some of my own as well. But I think this turned out absolutely beautiful. I love that purple with the gray. I think it's just gorgeous. So here is this little necklace here, which I think is one of my favorites from this kit that I made. And then here in the kit, there was also a special, like a cloud-shaped little wood veneer piece. And I used some of the blue beading wire to make this little piece here. And let me move these out of the way so this can kind of show up better. And move this up out of the way, or move this up higher so you can see this a little bit better. Okay. And so all I did here, I took some of the blue, this topaz beading wire from the kit. And there were these gorgeous large oval beads and these very beautiful like turquoise blue beads in here, and just made these little on each side, just wrapped the beading wire around the open holes in the little cloud shape. It's actually, yeah, there you can see it's a cloud. I just did it upside down to make it more like a triangular shape, and then just used some of the bead caps and spacers from the kit, and then I just wire wrap or crimped it onto the chain on the other side. And then I used some of these little large these are giant, like, I'm not sure what size they are, but they're very large crimp covers that I get at Hobby Lobby. They're very giant, and I just thought they added a nice touch on there. And then this bead here, I had this one, it was the like only bead like it that was in the kit, and so I just made this little wrapped bead to hang from the bottom of the wood piece. And I thought that turned out like super cute and very, very different. And when I first saw this, I thought I had no idea how I was going to use it. And then I watched the live video from Softflex on their Facebook page where they did the kit reveal. And Sarah was Oler, she was with another woman, I don't remember her name, but they were both using these kit pieces to make jewelry, and so they kind of showed doing a few pieces with this little wood piece in there, and so it kind of inspired me to do this. I thought that was really cute. Now the other woman that did it on the video, she actually had hers hanging down from the chain or from the necklace here, and then had like beads going across the bottom that kind of looked like raindrops, but I knew I wanted to do mine the other direction because I thought it would be cool to have the little necklace pieces coming from the corners there and then have one dangle from the bottom. And so that is what that looks like. And I did not put any kind of dangle at the clasp on this one. And there is one left, one necklace. Now this one I have contemplated just tearing apart because, I mean, I like the idea that I was going for, but I feel like the execution is just way off on this because I can't really get it to lay exactly the way I want it to. So here's the long chain that I've got on here, and here is what I did. The kit came with this really cute little frog, and so I made this long dangle here. And again, I used the just some regular, or on this little piece here from the frog, I just put these on a head pin. Just did a little wrap. And these rings here came off of a chain I found at Hobby Lobby. And it was actually like a necklace, and I took it apart and used the individual rings. There's where I used 2 more of those little connectors. And I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a weave, like with the wire, with the beading wire, since I have seen so many people do that on the Softflex. Like Sarah has done a lot of projects that way. And I've seen other beaders do that, and I thought, well, let me give it a try. And I mean, I think it's a cute design. I use these little daggers here and just my spacers from my stash. And then those little bright, like really bright blue beads from the kit. And it just kind of weaves in and out up to the top. And see, these don't want to stay the same direction. They're hammered on one side and plain on the other. And they're supposed to be that way for the front, but they keep wanting to twist on me because I don't think I kept my wires very straight. They kind of they kind of get upside down and everything. So, but this is the first time I've done anything like this. I think it's a cute idea, but I'm still not 100% like sold on actually if I like this finished piece or not. So here's what that looks like. It's a very long Y necklace. And I believe these were the last 2 of those connectors from the bargain bead box. So I did use those up as well. I was able to use up quite a few items from both the bargain bead box and this Softflex kit. So that was nice to be able to use up pieces that were here by my jewelry table. And like I said, I really like the look of this going up and down here. If it would just stay laying straight for me and not want to flip over. I guess it doesn't really matter if it's flipped over, but this is quite a long necklace. It goes about 20 inches to the end of this little frog dangle. Actually, I didn't have the frog all the way down. 21 inches down to the bottom of the frog, which is quite long for me, but I wanted these circles to hit a certain spot. And also this can just go over my head really nicely. And so I'm kind of, I mean, it's going to take me like a little bit to decide how I really feel about this necklace, whether I keep it or tear it apart. And the only reason I don't want to tear it apart is because I feel like I would have wasted all this pretty bead string. But, you know, gotta practice to make things, you know, to get better at stuff. So I thought, well, I could come up with maybe some other design. But I really like the idea. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it or not. I might just keep it the way it is because I do like the design of it. So that is what I have made for this month's Soft Flex kit. Quite a bunch of stuff here. Like I said, there's about 4 or 5 necklaces, I don't remember now, a bracelet, and 4 pairs of earrings. So I made quite a bit more necklaces than I usually make. I usually get carried away on the earrings because those little these little design elements just really make earrings so much easier, because everything is usually in even pairs and just makes for easy, quick earrings. But I decided I was going to try to get more necklaces out of myself this month. So I think I succeeded with that. And here's just what I have left to play with now. So that's pretty good, I'd say. This and that little bit of wire and a couple little bead caps. So I'm very, very pleased with how well I was able to use up this kit. I want to thank everyone for stopping by and checking out my Soft Flex Summer Rain finished pieces. And I will see you all in the next video. Take care.